Assalamu alaikum dear students, how are you all? I hope you all are absolutely fine inshallah. Well students, we are continuing the topic of asexual reproduction methods in which we discussed the binary fission in the previous video. Now we are going to study the multiple fission. What is multiple fission is the first question over here. The answer of this question would be starting from here and it ends over here. If we talk about the important MCQs on this page, then the first MCQ is some unicellular organism, for example amoebae, form hard walls carcased around them under unfavorable conditions. Next MCQ is when favorable conditions return, the nucleus of parent divides into many daughter nuclei by repeated divisions, not 2 divisions or 3 divisions. It is by repeated divisions. A number of daughter cells are formed from a single parent at the same time. This is called multiple fission. Next topic is fragmentation, which is another method of asexual reproduction. First of all, we will give a brief intro of fragmentation. As certain worms grow to full size, they spontaneously break up into 8 or 9 pieces. Each piece or fragment develops into a mature worm and the process is repeated. This is the definition of fragmentation. Write an example of fragmentation. If a planarian breaks into many pieces instead of 2, it will also be called as fragmentation. Students, you can see the diagram on the screen right now. Fragmentation in a planarian. If you are asked about the definition or example of fragmentation, and most important, this diagram, you have to draw this diagram, the example of fragmentation. Moving toward the MCQs, planaria asexually reproduces by fragmentation. This may also be asked in this form. As certain worms grow to full size, they spontaneously break into 8 or 9 pieces. Students, next topic is budding, which is another method of asexual reproduction. Define budding. In this type of asexual reproduction, a bud develops as a small outgrowth on parent's body. This is the definition of asexual reproduction. What do you know about the budding in yeast? The answer of this question starts from in case and it ends over here. Moving toward the important MCQs on this page. Yeast asexually reproduces by budding. Yeast is a unicellular fungus. In yeast, a small bud is formed on one side of cell. The last MCQ on this page is each bud enlarges and develops the characteristics of parent organism. Next question is, what do you know about the budding in sponges, budding in hydra and corals? Answer to this question is animals such as sponges, hydra and corals also reproduce by means of budding. In them, a small bud is formed on the side of body by mitosis. This bud enlarges by the formation of more cells. It then detaches from the parent body and grows into new organisms. This is the budding in sponges, hydra and corals. Animals such as sponges, hydra and corals reproduce by means of budding. This is an important MCQ. Students, the diagram shown on this page is budding in yeast. Budding in yeast, which we discussed earlier, involves this diagram also. This is also an important short question. So, this is budding in corals. In coral, the buds don't detach from the parent body. Corals form big colonies because the buds grow into new organisms by remaining attached to the parent body. It is the answer of budding in corals. Next topic is spore formation, which is also an important method of asexual reproduction. Define spore formation and write examples. What do you know about the spore formation in Rhizopus? The answer of all these questions include it is generally seen in most fungi, for example Rhizopus. When Rhizopus reaches reproductive age, its body cells form thick-walled spores, sacs called sporangia. This also may be asked in the form of what do you know about the sporangia? In each sporangium, a cell divides many times and forms many daughter cells called spores. Each spore is covered with a thick-walled cyst and it can survive unfavorable conditions. When sporangia are mature, they burst and release spores. Under unfavorable conditions, the spores germinate and develop into new Rhizopus. Students, this is the answer of spore formation in Rhizopus. Next question is very important regarding body examination. What do you know about the endospore formation in bacteria? This may also include a diagram. The answer of this question is under unfavorable conditions, some species of bacteria reproduce by forming spores, for example Clostridium and Bacillus species. These bacterial spores are also thick-walled. They are formed inside bacterial cells, so are called endospores. Moving towards the important MCQs. Each spore of bacterium is covered with a thick wall, and this thick wall is called cyst, and it can survive unfavorable conditions. Cyst cannot survive unfavorable conditions. Another MCQ includes under favorable conditions, the spore germinate and develop into new Rhizopus. The last MCQ on this page is the bacterial spores are thick-walled. They are formed inside bacterial cells, not outside, and so are called endospores. This is also the definition of endospores. Students, it's the diagram about which we talked earlier. Spore formation in bacterium. Spore formation in bacterium is shown in this diagram, and you have to draw this diagram along with explanation. Alright students, today's topics have been completed, alhamdulillah. We will discuss the next methods in the upcoming videos inshallah. Okay, thank you very much.